Right, okay guys, so pickups video, but also with a bit of a twist because I got up to something a couple of weeks ago and I want to talk about it. You would have seen it by the description probably. But as you can see behind me, like I've done on all my videos recently, always put another channel on, that's Sega Zombie. I'll stick his link down below. Check him out, great channel. As you can imagine, he's heavily into his Sega. But he does like his Spectrum and like me, like most of us, collectibles too. So I'll put his channel down below and go and check him out. Right, okay, got a lot to get through. Probably we'll have to add some prices afterwards. Some of it I won't be able to give you prices, but we'll get to that in a minute. Right, okay, so as you know, I've been going more down the cartridge sort of route of late. I've actually been moving on some of my Xbox 360 collection, and the reason for that is because now it's kind of difficult to play some of these games. I had several of the Black Ops games, and you know the online servers are no longer available, and I noticed that some of them are still fetching a bit of money, so I decided to trade them in, which came in handy because I had quite a list of cartridges I wanted, and so that helped me to obtain them. I'm trying to remember now which ones I actually got from CEX and which ones I didn't, so I might be sort of muddling my way through this a little bit while we're doing it, but please bear with me, right? So on this one, I think I've only got one charity shop find maybe as well. So, right, okay, let's have a look. So first off, one that I did get off eBay, I know I got off eBay, Power Rangers on the SNES. I had this back in the day. I did have a SNES for a brief time between Mega Drives, and this was one of the games I had, and I remember quite enjoying it, so I wanted to pick it up again. And I noticed also that over the years this has got a little bit more expensive, so I figured get it now while it's affordable, right? So I grabbed it. So that's Power Rangers. Then we've got these two here, Judge Dredd. Now, I was thinking of picking it up on a Mega Drive. As you know, guys, I love the Mega Drive. But it looked to me, and it's just my opinion, of course, it did look to me like it looked better. And I've read that it sounds better on the SNES. So I decided to grab it on there. Again, like I say, I'll add the prices at the end. The next one I picked up on eBay was Super Swiv. Now, admittedly, this is not the best shooter. I know this because I watched Martin play it recently on Monday Night Retro. But I still like my shooters, as you guys know. So, and it's quite an affordable shooter, this. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to get it. To hell with it. Maybe it's a game that you can get better at. I know the rate of fire is not great on it, but I don't know. Sometimes it's good just to try these things even when they are really bad, right? So yeah, it's an affordable shooter, so I grabbed it. I then picked up Tasmania. This is in very good condition. I can't remember the exact price right now, but I do know it was stupidly cheap. And if I can get it open, you'll see why I got it, because it's in great condition. I mean, the book looks new. It's very nice, which is how I like it. And the reason I got this was because this was a game back in the day that I always wanted and never actually got around to getting. So this is the thing. Sometimes it's not about nostalgia for what you had. Sometimes it's about nostalgia for what you didn't have. And now you're an adult, you can get it. And that's basically what this is. So I now have Tasmania. It's only took me, what? Let's think, how long has it took me now? Probably about 33 years to get it. So, but we got there in the end. So, and I think the rest of these, if I'm not mistaken, yes, they are. The rest of these are all CEX pickups. And then we'll get to where I went last Saturday. Say last Saturday, it'll be the Saturday before by the time this video comes out. But anyway, let's get into it. So, first of all, I picked up Super Putty. I think this was a £5 if I remember right. But like I say, prices are kind of irrelevant because I traded stuff in for these. So I picked up Super Putty, which is a good platformer. I then picked up Super Smash TV Classic. This is a game I've been meaning to get for a long time on physical, and I just haven't got round to getting it. And I think this was like £6. Again, it was a chop-in job, so Bob. Now, again, this was another one I was thinking of getting on the Mega Drive, but I seem to remember it looking better on the SNES, which is why I grabbed it on there. And I realised that I've been talking about Sega Zombie at the start of this. He's probably going to shout at me for this, but I remember it looking and sounding better on this, so that's why I grabbed it. He's not going to be happy. If he wasn't an undead zombie, he'd be rolling in his grave right now. Top Gear. Now, technically, I've already got this because I've got it for the Evercade. And of course, on the Evercade collection, it's known as Top Racer, which is, I believe, is what it was known as in other countries. But here, it was Top Gear. I wanted it on the system it was originally released for, which of course was a SNES. So I had to get it. And if you've played Horizon Chase Turbo, the music and some of the stages that are in that new game were actually taken from this. So if you're a fan of that, you will like this. So they're worth picking up. So that's Top Gear. And of course, if you've got Top Gear, well, then you've got to get Top Gear 2, right? So I grabbed Top Gear 2 as well. I loved these games back in the day. I had to have them back in the collection. Again, like the first one, I have technically got this because it's on that Evercade collection. But of course, it's known as Top Racer 2. So now I've got Top Gear 2. Right then. As I've said many times before, you know I like my shooters on this channel. So, of course, recently I picked up Choplifter on the Master System. But, of course, if you got that Choplifter, well, if you see other Choplifters, you've got to grab them, right? So I did. I grabbed Choplifter 3 for the SNES. Again, this was another one that I chopped in for. And I haven't got around to playing it yet, but it does look fantastic. This is a game, like a lot of SNES games, that passed me by back in the day because I didn't have a SNES for long. And everybody else I knew had Mega Drives. So some of these games are going to be literally the first time I've ever played them. So I'm looking forward to actually having a go on this one. Now this one needs no introduction. Everybody knows this game. And it's because it's well known all over as being one of the best shooters on this system. And that is Super Aleste. Yes, if you're buying all these other shooters, you've got to get this, right? It's a great game. Again, this was one that jogged my memory because I saw Martin playing it a few weeks back on Monday Night Retro. And because it jogged my memory, I was like, right, I've got to get this. So I grabbed it straight away. For a reasonable price, I should add. I think it was 20 quid with CX. It's a lot more expensive if you look elsewhere. And then last but not least, and I'm sure Chef will love this because it means he's got a mention in yet another one of my videos because he does like this. And that is roller games. So this is a game that Chef's been banging on about in the groups, telling us, you've got to get it, guys, you've got to get it. And when I actually looked at it, I thought, you know what? I do need to get this because I like my beat-em-ups as well as my shoot-em-ups. And this is a beat-em-up, only it's done on rollerblades or roller skates. Roller skates. Right down my alley, really. I like beat-em-ups, and this just adds a new twist to it, right? So when I saw it, I thought, you know what? I will grab that. And it was a reasonable price. I think it was like a tenner. Something like that. It wasn't expensive. And I do like my NES stuff. So, and again, the NES was a system that I didn't have a lot to do with back in the day. So I'm always happy for people to recommend games to me because some of these I've never played. So yeah, and I'm looking forward to having a go on this. So that is roller games. So there you go, Chef. There's your mention again on one of my videos. Right. Now, before we get to where I visited to, I need to show a couple other bits that aren't gaming, but you're going to find there are a few bits in this that aren't gaming because of where I went to. But before we get to that, I want to show you this. So, as you know, I like my Motu, but I also like the new crossover, Turtles of Grayskull. And I had to get this Hordak version because it's really good. I need to get a second one because I really need to do an unboxing on this. But I got this for a bargain. I got an offer. It was originally 30 quid and the person offered it to me for 15. So I grabbed it. And if I can just show you the back, the reason I grabbed it is because of that. He's got wings They look like almost like a kind of demon's wings, and then he's got a green laser that fires out of his arm. If I can just get that closer, you could probably see him there better. I need to get another one of these to unbox it. But yeah, very nice example of a figure. Just goes to show that not all new figures are bad, right? That one actually does look really good, and quite a few of these actually do, if I'm honest. So yeah, sometimes, you know, us guys, we like our vintage stuff, but some of the new stuff is pretty good too. And speaking of vintage stuff, all new stuff could kind of fit into both. I like my original Battlestar Galactica, so for a while I've had this in my watch list. It's done by Dynamite Comics. It is a graphic novel. Look at the artwork. It's great. It's obviously the original Battlestar Galactica, and this is Death of Apollo. I grabbed this for, I believe it was £8, which in my opinion was a bargain. It's in perfect condition. It is secondhand, it's not new, but just look at the artwork there. It's so good. So I'm looking forward to sinking my teeth into that. Don't get me wrong, I didn't mind the newer Battlestar Galactica, but it's all about the original for me. The original was better, in my opinion. I know there's a lot of people probably screaming at the screen going, no, you're wrong, Lee, there's no way. But that's my opinion. And, you know, like all of us, we have them. So, and then one last thing before we get on to where I went. Charity shop find Batman, and this is Guardian of the Night. It was £2. It is a more modern comic, but I thought, you know what, why not give it a go and see what it's like. And as you can see, there's a Superman on the back. Sorry, there's a bit of glare from the bag. I can't take it out because it's still sealed. So unfortunately, I can't really show you that properly. But anyway, enough messing about. Let's get on to where I went. So basically, for some months now, myself, Retro Chef, so he's getting another mention, and the Hobby Lodge had been planning a visit to a toy fair. And originally we was looking at maybe going to one of the NEC ones. But then we realised that actually there was a decent one coming up at Sandown. So we went there. None of us had been there before. And in hindsight, I kind of wish we had, because we did make one fatal mistake, but I'll get to that in a minute. So what I did decide to do straight away, because I watch a lot of toy channels, I've seen a lot of people go to Sandown. Straight away I said to the lads, we need to do early bird, because these places get packed fast. So we did. We got early bird. Only worked out about £8 dearer. As I'm talking, you're going to see some footage. And yeah, if we'd have gone later, which I think was 10 o'clock onwards, it's like £7. I think it's worth paying the extra 8 if it means you can get round. Now, this is where we made the fatal flaw. We decided what we was going to do was go round, have a good look, buy anything we wanted to buy, which is sensible, because you want to be buying stuff before the mad rush gets in, right? That's the point of getting the early bird, to get in and get all the good stuff, right? However, we decided that what we'd do is do that, and then later go around and get some footage. Yeah, that didn't work out too well, as you'll probably notice on here. There's not a massive amount of footage on here. And the reason for that was because when we tried to go around a second time, we only got down one aisle, and it was packed. There was people banging into us, left, right and centre. It was just unbearable. And after only one aisle, we decided to go. And we weren't the only ones, because when we ended up there, I forgot to tell you, we met up with Retro Ed UK. We also met, I briefly met Retro Bunga. I'll link their channels down below as well. And there was another guy with them, but I didn't really get to meet him properly. So I don't know who he was, but unfortunately, I do apologise if you're watching this, but he was with those two guys. Now, before we get into anything, is one of the things I should say is that I did pick up something off Retro Ed. He gifted me this from Swap Shop. Like Ed, like he always is, he's a good guy. He never will take any money. So what I decided to do, because I know he's starting to get into his graphic novels, I sent him a little something, so which he should have got by now. So hopefully he'll enjoy that. But yeah, and that is Galaxy Force 2. Again, as you know, I love my Mega Drive. It is a shooter. So yeah, and it's in great nick, like Retro Ed's games always are. He's like me. Oh Christ, this box don't want to open. He likes his quality, like he likes it to be in good condition, same as I do. Look at that, nice and crispy. So yeah, like I said, he wouldn't take any money because Ed's a good guy like that. So I sent him something, so hopefully he enjoys that. But anyway, getting back to the event. So As you can imagine, you go to a toy fair, especially if you like me and you like your collectibles, you're on the hunt for certain things. But I didn't expect to be coming home with some of this stuff that I got. One thing I intentionally looked for, and then the rest of it I didn't at all. So let's get into it anyway. So first off, I picked up this really old Matchbox speedboat. Now you might be thinking like, now I should add, it's not completely 100%. The flaps inside, it's come off. Now I paid £8 for this, and you see there's 75. I had this back in the day as a kid. So when I saw it, and the condition of this is crazy. I mean, look at the paint. I don't think there's a single chip on that. And I'm being very careful because I don't want to drop it and then create one. When I saw this for £8 with the box, I thought, you know what? I've got to have it. It's got to come home with me. It'd be wrong for me to have left it there. So I grabbed it. And yeah, it's a fantastic example. I've got to be careful because I don't want to damage the flap that's inside. Do you know what? I'll put that down. I'll do it after the video because I don't want to wreck that box. Because this box, it's lasted this long. I don't want to be the person who destroys it. So, but yeah, £8. And that's going to look lovely in my collection because such great memories. I remember loving this as a kid, and now I have one again. Only in better condition than the one I had then. Because the one I had then, the sticker was coming off. It was chipped. It came from a boot fair, I remember. It was very cheap. But yeah, now I've got one that's actually an official, in its official box, and it's in great condition. So very happy with that. £8, it was well worth it. And then, as we was walking around, I was looking for some supernaturals, and I did see a few, but in my opinion, overpriced. So I didn't really bother picking up any supernaturals. However, one of the other things I was on a hunt for was one of the Toxic Crusaders figures. And that, I forget his name, Major something. I'll put it along the bottom because I can't remember it off the top of my head right now. Hasn't got the weapons, but I don't know if I can hold that up where there's no glare. I mean, look at the colours. I love all of this. All the neon colours. I mean, look at my t-shirt. You can see I like all this sort of stuff, right? So, yeah, and that was £20 or $19.99. So I grabbed him. I've been after him for a little while. I'd actually been watching one on eBay for a similar price, really. Only this way it saved me postage, and you know, you can see the condition when you're looking at it. So I grabbed it. Now, this is where the rabbit hole starts. So as we're walking around, I see a couple of things. One of them I've been putting off for a while. The other one I've kind of wanted to get one because I know that the missus liked this character as well. And we had seen it somewhere else, but it was a little more expensive. These were very reasonable prices. I've been trying to stay away from going down this rabbit hole, but ultimately I've come to this rabbit hole. I'm fully going down it. There's no holding it off anymore. And that is vintage Star Wars figures. Now, the reason I've put it off for so long is because technically I do actually have a full collection of these figures. However, they're at my mum's and I don't talk to my mum anymore, so I have no way of getting to them. So unfortunately, I'll probably never see them again. So I figured, you know what? Originally it was, I'm not doing this again, but it looks like I am doing this again, doesn't it? So first off, I grabbed Wicket, and as you can see there, he's got his spear. He's even on a little stand. He's even got his rubber bit. Now normally the paint's all worn off, or the head bit's missing, or the spear's missing, and they're normally about 30 odd quid. £15. I mean, that's a bargain. I was getting that all day. I couldn't leave it behind at that price. And this is what's caused all this, because like I say, my missus loves the character Wicket, but I like this character as well. And when I saw him, and he's in such good condition, again, for £15, I had to grab him. Now, you can probably see there at the bottom, if I can hold it, keeps moving, his gun's there, the cloak is there. Now, I'm not going to take it all out and pull it around, but what happens is you've got a skirt bit underneath, and then you've got a plastic belt, a silver plastic belt. Normally with this particular figure, you normally find the paint's worn, the skirt will be missing, or the cloak will be missing, or the belt will be missing, or maybe all of it. And nearly always it don't come with a gun either. So to see it complete for 15 quid, I couldn't leave it there. I had to get it. Like, every part of my being was like, don't do it, Lee, don't do it. But then the other side, it's like the angel and the devil, you know. One side's going, don't fall down this well again. Don't go down this rabbit hole. Don't do it to yourself. And the other side's going, Lee, you can't leave it behind for this condition for 15 quid. You got to get it, mate, get it. So, and ultimately the angel won. So I grabbed it. But on top of that, this is the thing, toy fairs don't always just do toy fairs. In fact, they also do t-shirts. Now, I watch a lot of Edge Retro Geek Out, and I've seen him at these events end of last year, earlier on. He went to one in October, and I saw this t-shirt stand. And I said to the lads, before we even set out, I said, if he's there, which I think he will be, you're going to love these t-shirts, trust me. And in fact, I've already bought several of these already, and so have they, because when they saw them, they fell in love with them too. So the first one I'm showing here is Madballs. See if I can hold that up, if you can see that. It's very psychedelic, it's a lovely t-shirt. You've got this logo on the arm there, OGTs, I'll give them a shout out there. Yeah, so I picked up this, and I didn't do it at the event though, I got them online, because you can get them through Instagram. He's got an Instagram page. In fact, I'll link him down below. Yeah, I've got 2 of these already. I will have more coming. So yeah, I love these, and do you know what, I could wear these all the time. These are everything I love about collectibles, you know. So, and he's got so many good designs, and more coming too. I've had a look at one of the new ones that's coming. I've already put a pre-order in for it. So yeah, fantastic stuff. And of course, after that, or in fact it was actually technically before we saw him, I saw these. And this is one of the other things that you see at these events, is the occasional games. And I should mention, speaking of games, saw Ed Hunt there. First time I've ever met Ed Hunt, so I was pleased to meet you. It was really nice to meet you. Had a quick look over his stall as well. He seems to be at these events quite a bit from what I've heard now. So yeah, it was nice to meet him as well. First time. I think I've been at events where he's been around, but I've never actually run into him. So it was nice to finally meet him. But next to him, on the stall next to him, was a guy selling all of these. Now, I ended up mentioning Chef again here, which I'm sure he's going to love this, because he does. So basically, what I am to start with is I'm going through the games, and I picked up Road Rash 2. And you can see there, well, actually you can't see there because of the glare, 18 quid. I've been after this actually for a while, and it's more expensive online. So when I saw it for 18 quid, I grabbed it. So yeah, so that was the first thing I picked out of the lot of games. And then Chef points out to me, he says, what about this, Lee? You should probably grab this. Batman Returns. Right, now before I tell you what the story was there, you'll see that it says £42, right? So, Chef says to me, you ever played Batman Returns on this? I went, no, but I've got it on the Mega Drive, so I don't need it. He went, you do realise it's a completely different game, right? I was like, no, I didn't realise that. He went, yeah, it's more like a beat 'em up. I was like, whoa, say no more. All right. Then while I'm looking at other things, he then shows me the price of what it should be. So I was like, right, okay, that's coming home with me, because it's boxed. It don't have a manual, but it is boxed. This is a good price for what it is. All right. So that goes on the pile. As I'm scanning along, I see this game, Master of Darkness. Now this is a pricey one on the Master System. I imagine most of you know this. And as I saw it, I pulled it out, and I've looked at Chef, because I know Chef knows more about it than I do. And I've quietly said it because I'm aware at this point that the stall owner's looking at us, and I don't want to make it obvious. So I've looked at Chef, you'll see there, 42 quid. I said to him, here, I said, isn't that normally more expensive than that? Is it this one, or is it on another system? And he went, no, it's definitely that one. And then he's looked at it and he's gone, look, this is how much that should be. Right? So I was like, right, okay, I'm having that as well. So that ends up on the pile. So then I say to the guy, at this point, all 3 of these games should have come to 105. Now, this is already probably about 50, 60 quid cheaper than they should be. And I was cheeky enough, maybe too cheeky, to say anything you can do on this if I buy all 3 of these. And he rang his son went, yeah, knock a £5 off. So I got all 3 of them for £100, which I think is a bloody bargain. So Chef should be proud of me, actually. I mean, you know, at least it wasn't as bad as him where he got a meager off an old lady for nothing because he scammed her. Sometimes you've got to do this thing. You've got to haggle, ain't you? So, great price. I can't grumble. So it was a good day out. It was a really good day out. Definitely going to do it again. It was great seeing Ed. It was good meeting Retro Bunger. Apologies for the guy that was with him, because like I said, I don't know his channel. But and it was good to see Ed Hunt as well. And these t-shirts, honestly, they're so good. Yeah, it was a really good day out. The only thing I will say, food, bloody expensive. Christ. I bought me, because my eldest boy went with me, I bought me and my eldest boy a sandwich each and a drink. And it came to £13.90. I was like, Jesus Christ. However, if I'd have got a hot meal, you paid 13 quid just for one hot meal. So I suppose it's an event. You've got to expect it at these things, haven't you? But yeah, in hindsight, maybe take food with me next time, I think. But yeah, good day. And yeah, I'm down another bloody rabbit hole, aren't I? But I know I didn't take these figures out of the bags. There's a reason for that, because I've got a collectibles channel called NG Collectables. I'll link it down below. Go over there, because I will show them properly on there. We'll get them out of the bags. We'll put them on the turntable, have a proper look at them. And you never know, you might find I might have bought a few more since then. So yeah, so if you're not subbed to the NG Collectables channel, get over there and sub to that. Anyway, I'm sure you're probably quite fed up with hearing me waffle on now. So go away, guys. Nah, I'll see you next time, guys. Take care, stay safe. Nerdy Geezer out.